In about 48 hours, President Joe Biden will lift the remaining COVID emergency orders. Some restrictions have already wound down, others still being phased out. Changes are coming this week, though, for people trying to get into this country, including at our local bridges with Canada. Now, the date to circle on your calendar for this is this coming Thursday, May the 11th. From that point on, this is important, Canadians who are traveling here into the Buffalo area will no longer need to show proof of a COVID vaccine. Also on that day, on the 11th, foreign visitors who are coming here by plane will also no longer need to be vaccinated. Leaders on both sides of the border have for years stressed the need to get to this point with no restrictions between us and Canada.
We're going to have a lot more free flow back and forth, and we can be back to the way it used to be, and that's what we all want to see.
We need to speak consistently. We need to speak clearly so that people can travel freely.
Joining me live now to talk about this is John Percy, President and CEO of Destination Niagara USA. Good to have you in studio.
Michael, great to be with you.
This is a sign that the pandemic is behind us because we talk so much via Zoom. We look at this. Obviously, we know Canadians are important to the Western New York economy, but I also talk there about, people coming from overseas via plane. You get a lot of them in Niagara Falls. The fact that this vaccine requirement is going away, how do you process that and what it will mean?
We've been waiting for this. It's such a great sign when we got word in the last few days. We belong to and support U.S. Travel Association. That's our national body that really lobbies on behalf of our industry to get these restrictions lifted. And now that they've been lifted, it really is that green light we've all been looking for especially, as you alluded to, international travelers. They come to the United States and spend 3 times as long as a domestic traveler and spend as much as 3 times more. So we love our international travelers. Some may not, but we do love them because they really impact not only our local economy, but the economy across the United States when it comes to travel. So they're very important, especially to us in Niagara Falls. It's about 15 to 20% of our inbound travelers to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I wondered about those numbers and the hit that you took, especially when the restrictions were much more severe than just proof of vaccination, right? So we've kind of had a slow return to normal. Will this open it up to a lot more people who are maybe still a little hesitant before? I'm thinking of all the folks, we get so many travelers from Asia who want to come and see Niagara Falls, other parts of the world as well.
It will, and it's interesting because we've done so well the last couple of years, and people said, "How have you done so well? You haven't had your international." Well, domestic had to stay domestic,
right?
And so now that the Americans are traveling abroad, now we're so happy to see these restrictions lifted because now we'll see the return of those international visitors, especially Asia. Those travelers are impactful to us in Niagara Falls. India being one of our largest inbound markets. And so we're so excited to hear that and talking to our tour operators because there's an anxiousness and a pent-up demand from them as much as from the domestic travelers as we had coming out of COVID. There really is a huge pent-up demand from those international markets. So we're very excited again to start working with our international operators and getting that international travel. We are headed to an international show here in San Antonio that brings tour operators from around the world, so this news could not come at a better time for all of us.
It's also big news, obviously, for families who have maybe been separated, for people who just kind of want to come and go back and forth. But in terms of your specialty here and tourism, what about the people who maybe stay on the other side of the border and who haven't just been crossing over? That's got to be another big component of this, right?
It is.
Encouraging them to come to our side.
Correct.
Too.
Canada is very impactful to Western New York. We love our Canadian neighbors. They're really just friends to the north, separated by a few bridges, a few hundred feet. And so Canada is very impactful to this economy on a shopping component, dining component, even people that stay in our hotels, our sporting events here in Western New York, huge. So everyone is really, applauding this news across all sectors because as tourism goes and as positive as tourism is, it impacts so many other sectors. Transportation, food industry, so many others. So this is positive news across the board.
Yeah, talking about a lot of jobs and a big impact, no doubt.
Very much.
John Percy, President and CEO of Destination Niagara USA. Thanks for coming down and joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you.